Hi guys! Hello! So nice to see all of you! 4,500 of you are on this show once again. Some people call it Kuch To Karona Baba. Kuch To Karona! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome for yet another season of Kuch To Karona. And the change is, and people have noticed the change. Krish Muni has spotted the change and he knows what it is. I have shaved, ladies and gentlemen. The change is I have shaved. Yes, सालों सदियों बरसों के बाद I have taken the razor and I have used it to the optimum. I have shaved. Remember the last season we had pathetic jokes. This season we will touch a new low. Such a low that it's even lower than this floor. It's that low. It's lower and deeper than Mariana Trench. And if you don't know where Mariana Trench is, then if you can't understand this humor and don't know where Mariana Trench is, then this is the wrong show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the wrong show. Beard is shaved. Somebody says, why? How can you? Of course I can. Public is saying all the best. I need it today. Somebody said, RS, please cut your hair. I was planning to cut my hair, but then there's no barber shop open in containment zones. So in containment zones, the problem is that there is not a single barber shop open. It's not even one. But it looks good, nah? Like it looks like a little bit like Robert Downey Jr. in the movie Sherlock Holmes. The only difference is Robert Downey Jr. had the same hairstyle and was a smart guy. In my case, I have the same hairstyle and I am a smarter guy. I am smarter than Robert Downey Jr. in Sherlock Holmes, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't even need to say that I was kidding because people knew that I was kidding. Okay, now today there is going to be something really cool that's going to be happening. Yeah, something really phenomenal is happening today for the first time ever. And I think he rarely does these appearances. For the first time ever, at least in I.I.M.U.N history, we have the living legend. Baba, I'll be really honest, I don't get nervous before having conversations and interviews, but this was the first time that I was really nervous. I was nervous in the sense there were butterflies in my stomach and I was saying, shit, it's him. It actually is him. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal for me because, and I think it's a big deal for all of us because this guy rarely comes out and gives public appearances. So to be able to get him to come is only a big deal, and the fact that he's graciously agreed is an even bigger deal. It probably it's that big that it'll beat the length of my hair. The length of my hair. This part, we can cut this part. Like this can be comfortably cut. This one, the one out here. This one can be comfortably cut. Baba, but now it's okay. It looks good. Are you serious? Are you serious, says somebody? I am serious. Oh, you said, are you serious? Listen, that guy should be the writer for this show. He should be the writer. Oh, worries. Would you like to get employed on this show? We will give you 1 full million. Remember the joke, ladies and gentlemen. 1 full million Zimbabwean dollars. Pura 1 full million Zimbabwean dollars for 1 entire season. That is what your fee will be. We have Rajesh Mansukhani. Somebody said put a pin in your hair. I thought that you guys would say put a rubber band or a clip in your hair. Why just a pin? But the thing is, see, the reason why I have this long hair is so that people look at it and then people saying Rishabh has such long hair. Probably we can get one of these hair brands to come and sponsor this show. Now come on, now this is the 4th season. पहले 3 season तो free में कर लिए, तो 4थे season के लिए तो कुछ तो करो ना, कुछ तो लेके आओ. बड़ी 4,500 लोग बेशरमों की तरह देख रहे हो ये. सोचो मेरे बारे में. This is the 60th day when I'm doing this free of cost. Absolutely free of cost for you. Not a single rupee. Not a penny. Not even Sheldon. Not even Raj. Not even Harvard. Okay, if you didn't understand that joke, go watch Big Bang Theory. Not right now. Don't go right now. Go and watch it after this. Alright, Big Bang Theory is this super cool thing. But anyhow, somebody said, please ask questions in regards to upcoming musicians. Baba, I'm also an upcoming musician. But I have always been upcoming only. I have never come up. But if you insist, I will ask correct questions. And in fact, I will ask the best questions. You're calling us Besharam for watching this. Of course, you're not just Besharam. You're worse than that movie Besharam. It was Besharam only, na? The one that had Ranbir acting in it. Poor fellow, yeah. After that. But yeah, you're worse than that. Guess why? Because Besharamo ki tarah you keep coming back without a sponsor. Okay, stop. Somebody says stop. Championship 2020 concert. Listen, if you guys can convince A.R. Rahman, apparently that is what people tell me, that's the guest today. You can convince him in order to come for a concert. That will be some next level scene. Okay, somebody says play the Gujarati guy. Gujarati guy कौन? राकेश भाई ने आज राकेश भाई नहीं play करे. Okay, please, राकेश भाई आज नहीं play करे. What if Ranbir comes here? Of course, there's a strong possibility that Ranbir Kapoor, rather than talking to Alia Bhatt and rather than taking care of his family, would be coming on Kuch To Karo Na at 9 o'clock in order to listen to this. Okay, now I'm going to look for him. I'm going to look for our guest tonight. I'm going to look for the living legend. Somebody said sing with AR sir. I will definitely sing with him. RS duet with Rahman sir. Of course, as soon as I start singing, that's the time when he'll go away. He's not on Instagram. Baba, he is on Instagram. Oh, Ranbir Kapoor is not on Instagram, but why do you need Ranbir Kapoor when you have me? This is the problem. How do you prepare for your interviews? Very simple. I ask the same questions over and over again. What to prepare? There is nothing to prepare. Can you call Sid Shri Ram? I will definitely call him. Just give him a call. Tell him Rishabh wants to talk to him. And if he picks up your phone, then we'll get him. So how have you been spending your quarantine, guys? Tell me what's new in the last 4 days? What's been cooking? क्या खाना बना रहे हो? क्या कर रहे हो घर बैठ के? He's RK, I'm RS, Baba. Now somebody else has also asked me to join. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the legend. Connecting. Oh my goodness, hello! Oh God. We have the living legend, the man whom I greatly revere, and somebody whose smile melts a million hearts. But the only thing is he rarely smiles, which is why he smiles often, and whenever he smiles, it's a billion hearts that are smiling with him. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have with us none other than somebody who I greatly respect. And before I do the introduction, I'm very grateful that he's been able to spend some time and come here. So thank you, sir, for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for doing this. And I'll just very quickly formally introduce you.
Yes.
There's no need for an introduction. And sir is looking
I've
at
been
my
hearing
hair.
you. I've been hearing you for 5 minutes, so don't worry. I got the hang of it.
This is why I specifically told Abdul not to let him come on live before 9 o'clock. But then again, really quickly, I just want to tell everyone that the man in front of us has won Academy Awards. He's won Grammy Awards. He's been a winner of multiple Filmfare Awards. He's won all the accolades in the country. But when I met him, my 15-minute meeting turned into a 1-hour meeting. And the reason it turned into a 1-hour meeting was not because we spoke about I.I.M.U.N. but he spoke about something that I'm very passionate about. And people keep saying that he is one of our greatest ambassadors. But whenever he spoke about India, so he normally talks, and when he talks, you will see that he talks just like you and me. But when he talks about India, you see that gleam in his eye. You see that sudden passion in his eye. And that conversation out of 1 hour, sir, if you remember, 45 minutes was about how to recreate and how you are reinventing music, which is old Indian music, folk music, and now how you want to bring it to the next generation. I think
Did I
one
say that?
person who is the
Or you thought I'm going to say that? Really? Did we talk about that?
I think somebody's given him the hang of the entire show. But but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, somebody who is the finest ambassador of India, it is a pleasure to be able to call him a mentor and an advisor at I.I.M.U.N. Sir, it's an honor, and thank you for bearing with me and coming and agreeing to be a part of I.I.M.U.N officials Kuch To Karuna.
Thank you. Thank you. Such a pleasure. And to all of you who have joined, my good wishes in the holy month of Ramadan. I think we just finished the 27th fast. Great being, quarantined inside the house. And it's really nice to meet you all.
So I was very worried because I saw Karan Thapar's, so I was seeing your interviews, and Karan Thapar has said this.
Yeah,
And,
I saw that. You don't have to repeat it. Thank you.
so I was very nervous. I was very, very nervous because usually I'm not this nervous, but I was very nervous when I was thinking of speaking with you. But let me start with a very light-hearted question. So you've been to the United Nations, you've been to the House of Lords, to all these fancy places, Rashtrapati Bhavan, everywhere across the world. So finally you've made it on I.I.M.U.N officials Kuch To Karuna.
Absolutely. This is the biggest, right? Biggest of all. Yeah.
No, sir,
but every good thing actually starts somewhere. And I hope that your intention and your aspiration and everything leads to something big like that, which unites people and which enlightens people and which connects people. So good luck to your whole team, you.
Sir, it's always good luck when we have somebody like you smiling at the start of the show and also is advising us. Sir, my first question to you is, so what according to you is going to be the new normal?
It's changing every day, right? But there's certain things which stays. I think the ideals are definitely staying, because some of the tried and tested things of life, like being useful to each other, empathy, which are probably hardwired in our system of spirituality or soul, that stays. When we feel for someone, we love someone, that stays. Everything else is a shell. The way we dress, the way we watch things, the way we comment, and the way we express changes. But ultimately, we are all connected with the same thing, with hope, with pain, with sadness, with happiness, and probably cheering for whom we love. Those things are going to be the same. But as I said, there's many things coming in for challenging us, like AI, and then there is divisiveness also. Then there's always like there is a dip and there's a mountain. There's a dip in the mountain. So I think we don't know where we are, the mountain or the dip or the valley. So humanity is like that. We just discover and then we lose it and then we discover. And so the whole process makes, I guess, life interesting for us.
So when you're talking about dip, the standard of the jokes on the show have dipped to such a low that today I was telling them that we have reached Mariana Trench. So there is no way that we can go lower than this.
That's a good sign. Yeah, I can only go up now.
But sir, talking about coronavirus and COVID, so much is changing, sir. So in and around us, whether it be social distancing, whether it be the fact that now people are having to keep their businesses open on alternate days. When it comes to airlines, when it comes to theaters, when it comes to movies, like say for example, 99 songs, or for the matter, any movie. Now it's going to the digital releases. So it's going to be a whole new world. And in this new world, Do you think that there's going to be a lot of change that young people also have to get used to?
I personally think um, we are we have certain knowledge. We over the years we gathered the knowledge. It's like nature trying to challenge us. Like, now what? Now see what you can do. You know, and so we have to reinvent many things. We have to go back to the drawing board, and we have to find. So how do we entertain? Like I was talking to Mr. Shekhar Kapoor. He said, like, during Shakespeare time, there was people doing live theater, right? Then came cinema. Then they thought, okay, now live thing is going away. The cinema and live coexisted. Then came in TV, small screens, and then the cinema will go away, but everything is staying, everything is coexisting. And then came VR, where it's even more, like probably 100 times more impactful than watching things on a cinema. But the only problem with VR, virtual reality, and mixed reality, and all those things, where you didn't have the communal feeling, like you with a community where we laughed together. That was not there. And it's like, maybe that is why it might not work out. People thought that, and then now we are in that zone where we have to be alone, and we need to experience something big. And here comes VR. So it was like ahead of its time, like 5 years before when I started. Maybe that is the only drawback of this thing, and now it's become so. That should be the in thing now, where you're transported to the Himalayas, you're transported to Venice, or you transported to Mecca, or you transported to Alaska. So that things,
So,
yeah, tell me.
no, sir, but being transported to Venice is a dangerous thing these days.
I know.
Though,
Hypothetically, like in VR,
yeah,
not literally. Yeah,
no, sir.
without
But,
the
but But
yeah.
when you did speak about Venice, the first thought that comes to mind is dolphins and the positives of the pandemic. Because quite honestly, the positive of the pandemic, one of the biggest positives has been the environment, sir. Personally, at least for me,
Yes.
I stay
Yeah,
next to the sea, and now for the first time, I'm able to see clearly from one end of the necklace to the other end of the necklace. I can actually see the necklace. So the idea is that
yeah.
what, according to you, is the biggest positive of this pandemic?
True. I think. Okay, if you take the negatives, so you see this exodus happening, migrant workers. We didn't even know that they existed. That this existed. That's such a big thing called migrant workers and their lives. We didn't even know, because we were all so busy with our own lives, our own challenges. And when we see this is India, and what are we doing about it? And we are all in our own pigeonhole. Like, okay, this is my thing, music, and you're into this thing, you're into this thing. But it's so important to think a nation as one, right? We have to look after each other, and no poor, no rich, no religion, no this thing. That's when we rise together, and we use all the pluses of everybody, every individual, to rise up. And we are the largest, almost in population. If we say 1.3 billion, it's like, imagine all 1.3 billion are empowered with knowledge, empowered with great ideas. That's it. Ours will be the biggest nation, and that's what we should aim at. Rise as a nation, and so within our reach, whomever we can empower. That should be our goals. That should be our goal, and it could be by helping your probably your maid's son, or your driver's person, or you find anybody you just grab, and that, I think we have that. All of us have that within us, that we can help, and it feels good to help. And so, yeah, that's my thing. And the good part of that, of the quarantining thing, is
Right, sir.
definitely, when I used to take my camera and I used to shoot in LA or in Ladakh or Nagaland, you find the sky is so clear, and you get beautiful colors. But whereas in Mumbai or Chennai, it used to be like, why am I not getting that quality? And now you can see through the window that it's like cleansed completely. There's no dust, there's no smoke, and the same kind of quality is coming on my phone. So that's a good thing. And it's like a jungle where you are in a concrete jungle, but you hear birds and you see mangoes like all over the place. I was still telling my wife, look at this. This is like a forest holiday, like you hear birds in the day, and yeah, that's a great thing to be.
So it's the fact that we don't anymore need, sir, any filters in the camera.
True.
But there are no filters now needed. We can take a clear picture and post it without any filters.
Very true.
But sir, you also spoke about migrant workers and you spoke about the plight of so many people. I think that feeling of empathy, especially for people who are, say, for example, privileged enough in order to watch this, for the fact that now we can sense that we as people are, we feel that we should do things for them. But sir, what can young people, and this is slightly, is also a personal question, and also as an advisor, I wanted to ask you, what is it that young people can do for migrant workers and people as such? Like, because there is, so we see the wonderful initiatives that you're doing personally. Because you're a superstar, you can leverage your
No,
stardom,
I'm as normal as everyone. Like if you hit me, I'll fall down. It's the same thing. I'm not a Superman. We are all very, very vulnerable to everything, but we can. It's definitely empowering to see, like now you see how many people have joined. They actually reduced from
4,500. Yeah, 5,000. Yeah.
Yeah, 5,000 almost. And it's nice to see that they want to listen to something. And I'm just like any one of you, and you go deep, delve into something, you become that. And you don't give up. You don't give up even if you fail. You don't give up even if you fall sick. You just be persistent on what you do, and then you become that. It might take 2 years or 2 months or 20 years. If you're persistent, you get into whatever you want to become. A rocket scientist, you can become. And the world has got enough knowledge and has got enough resources for you to become that. And you asked me, what can young people do? There are so many NGOs doing amazing things. Join them. And knowledge-wise, we're filled with thoughts and things which we can do positively. If you look for positivity, it'll come at you, and you can do that. You can advise people what to do.
You can advise people. Sir, if I advise people what to do, sir, they will run away. You must observe
that negative thought should never be there. That negative. I used to think when I used to sing before I did Roja, that if I sing, people will run away or they will start judging me. And Mani Ratnam says, "No, I want your voice." I said, "No, are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding. I just want your voice. Just don't replace that." It's like, okay, I get the message. So it's how we value ourselves. If we respect ourselves, and then we know that we need to, refine
no, sir,
and go.
I was only mentioning it on a lighter note, and I'm trying to learn the little bit of humility, the vast amount of humility that you have. The third question that I want to ask you, sir, is, this is again something. This is a personal question also, and I think on behalf of everybody at I.I.M.U.N, many people have asked me to ask you this question. And the thing is there, just like us, like normal people, is there one habit that you've picked up in quarantine which you do not want to get rid of? Like, in my case, one of the habits that I have got used to is, previously my parents used to tell me saying, put your plates, Rishabh, in the kitchen. Now, when I've been putting my plates and I dropped 4-5 plates in the kitchen, then they've said, don't ever touch the plates again.
Okay. Then you should do it properly. I said, why are you saying that? I will do it properly next time. So.
No, but is there a habit that you picked up in quarantine, sir, that you are that you'd like to continue right through?
I think the good habit is I'm sleeping on time. I try to sleep for 7 hours because there's nothing to do. And I think what's more important for a human being is, rest and health. Health is the most important thing. Then you can do many things. Sometimes your passion overrides all this stuff, and then say, I don't want to work. I don't want to sleep. I just want to work. I want to do that. And you can become sleepless. But then, and in the Holy Book it says that every part of your body is going to stand witness against you. So you have to be kind to the body, the parts of your body too. So in a way, if you make yourself, you treat your body kindly also, and don't abuse it. That's important.
But I don't think you're getting the 7 hours of sleep. Sorry, I mean, of course, you would be the best person. The reason I mention it is because Khatija tells me, and not just Khatija, but Abdul and everybody else keep mentioning that you are doing the Hollywood Climate Summit in the morning, then you're doing something in the afternoon, then
That
Deepak Parekh sir told me that you're recording a song with HDFC. Then so the amount of things that you're yet doing in quarantine is really commendable, sir. But coming to the next part, it's called Tumbi Karuna. The second part of what we do is called Tumbi Karuna. We've taken Karuna and added words before and after. So, sir,
how predictable.
So even when this man wants to very subtly, subtly send across a message saying it didn't make sense, he'll say, "How predictable." But sir, your life is very well documented. Right from the time that all the hardships, all the struggles, and now you're a role model for generations, not just a generation, sir. I know the time that I've read about the time that you left school and you help support your family. But are there any such instances in life which are not yet documented that you'd like to share with young people that, because we face a lot of anxiety issues today. Like I can say this on behalf of many young people, that we are very anxious and that anxiety, and whenever we face a challenge, it's difficult to overcome that challenge. We always choose, to succumb rather than to succeed. And as somebody who succeeded not just once, but multiple times, is there some episode in life growing up that has shaped you and made you who you are?
I think this challenges thing, it never goes away. It's still there. One thing we have to know that sometimes certain things take time, and because the world needs to tune up to your your vision, and sometimes the world needs time to recognize you, and so sometimes you do something great and then you wait for it to come out, or you wait for appreciation or results, and it may not come. You're feel frustrated, and it also brings suicidal thoughts. For many people, when they think that, oh, I'm not useful, I don't think I stand a chance. They forget that they have time to evolve, they have time to become bigger, they have time to see the results. They forget that, and they succumb to a shortcut and something which is disastrous. So that is one thing I would like to say, that sometimes things take time, and you can reach anywhere if you're persistent, as I told you before. And other than that, Rashtreen Moni Kabir, who wrote the Spirit of Music book about me, she wanted to write a book regarding the making of iconic songs, like 20 songs. Like if you take probably Roja, I think a lot of interviews had come, but many other songs which are not documented. What went through that? What did the director say? How did the lyric writer put this in? How did this choice of singer, and what made those songs stick? I think that's one thing we might do. For me, 3-4 years back, she asked me that, and I thought it'll be a good time to do something like that. Then, of course, the new book which Krishna Tirlok had written, that one has my stint with filmmaking, and it has a lot of information about the chaos which I created. So that's pretty well documented, I think. And we're all waiting for the movie, all this to end, so we can release the movie in the theater, 99 songs. And of course, another bigger, everything is like a gamble. The next big project, Le Mask, which is a virtual reality project, sensory project. We're almost 3 months, last 3 months of post-production, but then this thing kind of slowed it down. And in a way, I feel like I told you about VR, how VR could be the big thing. And also devices which are much more cheaper now, like the Oculus Quest, which is doing tetherless, VR. All those things are going to help this whole more to come up.
So you mentioned 99 songs. This is something that I'm personally waiting for, because the songs are already a super hit, but the movie, I think, has been shelved a little bit because of coronavirus. Is it a digital release, or are you going to
Every movie is suffering, from Hollywood to Hindi to Tamil to Telugu, the whole world. I mean, for them, the life is more important than a movie. But the good thing is, I wanted the music to be with people for more than like 3-4 months, and everybody kept saying, no, that's not the way movies work now. We have 4 weeks of ramming them to people, and then we release the movie. And I was like, no, this is a soundtrack, and it has 14 tracks. And how can you just put everything in people's mind when they're distracted with so many releases? And so in a way, it was a blessing that we just released almost the second day or first day of this lockdown, and people had time to relax, listen to the tracks, and yeah. So we're looking forward to that release.
So, sir, basically, your mantra to overcome any challenge, or your secret ingredient is perseverance and patience. That you should be perseverant and patient.
Patience, and I always feel like human beings. I mean, I'm going a little spiritual. If it's too boring, just close your ears.
No. So I'm on the show. If I am there, it's already reached a new level of boring. So whatever you say is interesting.
You're very kind. No, we keep thinking about things. How do you do things which are progressive, and how does it work out? It has to be new, or destiny-wise, you have to think what God is thinking. How do you know that?
Right.
So you can only assume, and you only will that how this is in the lines of what the universe is thinking, and the infinite is thinking, and what I do doesn't go against it. So it also goes along with the flow. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes it goes against, or sometimes you're waiting for that time to align. And I was also involved in the expo for Dubai 2020, and we have some great plans, and we're still doing it. It's been postponed by a year now. And for instance, there's an orchestra we're forming called the Firdaus Women's Orchestra, where they're just women, multicultural, and we wanted to perform classics all over the world, by this beautiful orchestra. And we're almost auditioning people, building a studio. And so it was pretty inspiring. Now, Dubai is a place of, it is probably a capital of multiculturality. And
correct.
You see bikinis and burqas together, it's like we are coexisting. And I said, when I used to go there, when I go there, I always feel that this is probably the future, where people coexist. They're modern and yet keeping traditional values, and yet receiving, exploring about science and modernity and everything. So anyway, so that was for 2020.
No, what it is. What you're mentioning is so true. You said also be patient. And be perseverant. And patience is the key. Since 10, and if you are patient, then you'll eventually get where you want to get.
But we have to keep working and refining ourselves.
This is the key, because I was going to ask you my next question, saying for 10 years I've been very patient, but but moving on to the next question is, as somebody who loves India so much, and as one of the finest ambassadors of India internationally, sir.
Really?
What? So you are on the show. I have to say all of these things.
Okay. No, I told you to say that, so I give it a no. Kidding.
But according to you, if there is one song that for you is your idea of India, you have written 100.
Oh, you mean my songs?
Any song which is the idea of India according to you, or which you'd like to which symbolizes India for you?
Actually, I would say two songs. Like one is Sare Je Hase Acha, and then Vaishnava Janato, because it talks about empathy. It talks about, and in many spiritual books it says that there are a lot of hidden secret names of God, and in a way empathy is one of that. So when you get that in your heart, that means there's existence of the divine in you, and that actually triggers many good things in you, right? It makes you see the truth. It makes you a good person. It refines you better. And I might be wrong. I think I've been seeing too many YouTube stuff or reading too many books. But
there's nothing apart from YouTube and Netflix to do, sir. So,
Yeah, that no, but this thought resonated for me because we conceive many things as written on books, but when we go deeper, then we realize the way we understand things actually has to change to 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 make sense of the truth in a way, right? We see things as things. Oh, there's a table. That's how it looks. But there's much more. And when you talk about the infinite, we talk about spirituality. When you talk about science, all these things actually, there's much more than imagination is kind of limited when we think about these things. So we have to broaden our imagination. We have to, yeah. Now, let me stop
we've
there.
we had no, you know people have seen all this, the musical genius. People have also heard about all your stories, but this side of you, I'm glad you are talking about, because I think this is the side that young India should also discover. So the other thing that I want to ask you, is in regards to Sufi music. You know about Sufi music and Indian folk music. I from that conversation that you don't remember, from that conversation that you don't, the the desire to recreate uh, Indian folk music and forgotten Indian music, and to recreate it and bring it again, reinvent it for the next generation, is something that you are working on secretly, which you did not tell me, which I came to know from
I,
classified sources in CIA. But so on.
oh my God. So anyway, you got a little distorted. You got a little distorted information. So that's why I couldn't recognize it. But I won't tell you what the real thing is. I will tell you when I'll tell people when it's really happens, it manifests. And because you know what happens is when information is given earlier before it's done, it becomes jaded. It's like that I've learned through experience. So when you say something, when after it's done, it's fresh, and right. So there are
So the
many factors which determines. Sorry.
I will speak to Mossad and CIA and tell them this is the wrong file. This is the wrong file, guys. Abhishek, if you could just pass on a message to Director Huntley
Yeah,
at CIA that
it's
this was the
fully
wrong file.
it's fully encoded. It can't be decrypted. Yeah.
No, but so if I may ask you the importance of Indian music as a proponent of as India's ambassador. Indian music sometimes is taken as music in cinema. It's only taken as music in Tamil films, in Bollywood cinema, etc., etc. But the Sufi music that you do also is a great ambassador for what India stands for. Your thoughts on why it is important, and especially why young people world over are now slowly and gradually, why is it important for them to be in tune and in sync with this?
I think for any culture to become forefront, um, it's not just one person is not enough. There needs to be a support system. There needs to be promotion. For instance, K-pop. Suddenly you heard Gangnam Style, and then now K-pop has become big. Even though we don't understand anything, oh yeah, K-pop, BTS, we say all that stuff. Then I said, which song do I like? And I like the beats.
Oh.
But then there's a whole collective things which coming from a culture, right? And that collectiveness should come through many different sources combined together. It's first of all creative thing. There's certain things which people don't like. Like when I scored in Hollywood, and whenever you put an alap, it was jarring for them. And it was jarring. So yeah, I like that. Let's keep it very low in the mix and keep the chords more higher. Then I realized, okay, what's cool for us is not cool for them. In the way
Correct.
the sensibilities are different, right? So, and they don't like screechy female singing thing. When they go beyond C
So,
sharp and to F sharp.
so I'm out. So I cannot go out there.
Yeah, so they don't like something. So it's important when you're talking about our music spreading. I think there are certain aspects which are enticing and amazing for other cultures to listen to. Like for example, like of course you know about Ravi Shankar Saab, and then what he did to now what Anushka Shankar is doing beautifully. And there's also Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Saab. So I did watch a concert in Radio City Hall just before I went for the Sony meeting for Vande Mataram, you know. So they said, you know, Nusrat is singing, do you want to go? So they got me tickets, Sony International. And then we went, Bharat Bala and me, we went for the concert and we saw 6,000 people dancing for Allahu. And because of the voice, it created a kind of a rock fusion kind of a thing where it was enticing for them, you know. They didn't understand what it was, but they knew that there was something pure about it. And so certain things, if we change the way we do certain things, definitely I think Indian classical has might have a little more broader audience. And of course, a lot of people are doing it in a way thinking that it'll be cool, but taking the purity off, you know. Just putting a house beat into a raga is not cool for sometimes taking the purity of what it is, what it stands for. Experiments can be done, but I'm just saying it needs to be tested.
No, answer talking about purity, talking about ragas, and talking about music. I'm afraid that you will go into the technicality of music, and then obviously I will have to pretend to be smart and say, correct, sir. This is exactly why 7.1 and not 7.01 should be the one that we should be talking about. So before we slip into...
Don't think that I'm an expert. I'm not. I'm a layman. I'm always in a layman's perspective of music is what I do.
No, sir, but whether it is a layman's perspective or not, sir, for somebody like me, it's yet difficult to understand. Not your music, but the technical aspects of music. Your music, of course, heals and combines and unites people. And therefore, I'm coming to the last part of what we do. It's a rapid fire.
I don't hate that stuff. No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
past that. It's like last decade. Rapid fires are for last, not this decade. This decade is about, yeah.
This is a very, very different rapid fire. It's not a rapid fire. It basically is, I give you one word, and whatever comes to your mind first, you need to say that. It's very simple. And it could be one word answer.
Let's pass this. No, I think it's nice. I think conversation is better.
All those people whom I sent the script to, I had sent the script of the show with all the questions in it.
We're freewheeling actually, which is good.
No. I in fact like the way this is going. But if I may ask you one question on that, one of the things that I wanted to ask you in those words is when somebody says, and I will only ask you this because, sir, you're a legend for many things, but one thing that we Indians feel...
Why are you making me old? Legend and all those things. Oh my God.
He's very young, guys. He's only
I'm just
got his
25
driving license. He's got his... Oh, okay. So he's older. He's revealed his age. He's 25 years old now. So, sir, technically, I'm elder to you, so I don't... so it's
yeah,
okay
bhaiya.
So let me ask you this. Slumdog Millionaire was for all of India and across the world. The tracks that you made in that movie Slumdog Millionaire, it got people moving and dancing across. Is there, and when you went to the Oscars, the one thing that you said is, I have my mother and I am, and you spoke about your mother for one line and one sentence. And people give long speeches before the bell rings in the Oscar. The idea is that you said that one sentence. Was that an organic sentence that came to mind? The first thing that comes to your mind, is it always mother?
Yeah, I think in a way she initiated me in music after my father passed away. She led me saying that this is your path, For many of us, that whole magic question, which is my path? And we get, now it's even more, no? There's so many different ways. Even in music, there are like 1,000 paths to go. Am I going to do Indian music, or am I going to become a sound engineer? Am I going to become a producer? Am I going to become a lyricist? Or am I going to become a songwriter, singer? So there are a million questions. So you take that path and you go towards that path. But then she led me in that path, and that was the biggest move. So I needed to respect for the biggest award.
So Ma Tujhe Salam was was the immediate thing that came to mind when you held the trophy.
Yeah.
Though today Ma Tujhe Salam sir is playing across the country. I think the song that was composed almost over 2 decades ago, if I'm not wrong, is now the
Almost
theme
2.5.
song. Is now like the anthem of the country in colleges and schools across. So you've created many iconic, timeless pieces, but you are yet very humble and 25. So
Okay.
let me ask you this: at 25 years old of age, you have accomplished almost all of this, right? So you started when you were like 5, and now for the last 20 years you've done all of this. So what is it that keeps A.R. Rahman going?
Oh God. Again, the same cliche question.
So I had to you threw me off script. No, but okay, you don't need to. If you can give me any one thing that young people.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Like, no, this is a question I keep answering. I mean, asking myself is like, is it the right thing I'm doing? Just doing film music? Maybe I should just do albums. Maybe quit film music and do albums, or maybe produce movies. And that I'm doing. Produce movies that I'm excited, and we're all having fun with that. But the thing which, and of course, the school, giving back to students, and which I never got that kind of education and collective amazing set of music teachers, bringing them from abroad and from India, and go to one place where you get everything, the K Music Conservatory. Well, that was a dream, and that's one reason why I feel so good, which started in 2008.
And just Sunshine Orchestra is something
Yeah,
that
Sunshine
is also
Orchestra is part of it. It's part of it. It's not just it's just a part of it. But Sunshine Orchestra is special because we bring in underprivileged children and we teach them. But then also the other side where we train people in voice and composition, and many of them are becoming like accomplished singers now. So there's Abhay who's singing, and there is Shah Singh who's sung 99 songs. And there's Parag, and there is Lydian, and there's so many people coming out of it, and that's
and
what is very. Sorry.
You've created many superstars in your setup. How does one apply to be a part of your setup?
Well, it's not just me. I just initiated it, and we have amazing team there doing it, and of course the students. First of all, leaving something like one girl, I remember she left Microsoft, and another one left rocket science, and she's doing music. So they've taken the plunge. They're persistent about music and the commitment they are giving, believing in the profession, which is a stigma still in the world. Oh, your son is a musician, your daughter is a musician. What is it? And so if they believe, and I respect them for their decision to take music, to believe in it, and to spread their joy and happiness to the rest of the world.
So, how does one apply to be in your school? Because I know this one very talented singer who always starts with Sarigama, and then when I reach Gama, then my mom goes like, "Shh, band karo," and she slams the door on my face, and she says, "You cannot be a singer, so don't even attempt." But
that's very rude of him, Mom. Tell her to be a little more kind to you.
She doesn't, Baba. She doesn't. She's always encouraged me. I'm a trained bathroom singer, and I think one of the best bathroom singers that you will ever find in the country. So if you're looking for a new singer to launch, somebody who's like an elder brother to you, sir, because I'm 28.
You remind me of Josh Groban. I was seeing his Instagram, and also spoke to him last month. He records everything in his bathroom, I think, and he has that echo. So you can set up your equipment in your bathroom. I mean, this is not for other people, for you.
Oh God! But sir, let me take 2 questions from the audience, if you don't mind.
Yes, I've been getting very kind messages now.
You have been getting very kind messages.
Yes, Lavanya Sampat. No, Tasmeen Maju. Kalyan Srivastava. Tulsi Shanti.
There is
It's like a zikr.
what?
I have to tell all these names. Manisha
Okay,
Sweetie.
there is this one song
Yeah.
which I think everyone wants you to, if it's
Play.
possible,
Play.
play. So please sing Luka Chupi.
Well, I'm just woke up here, like, so, but I can.
If you can do 2 lines of Luka Chupi, and I will. How nice. Whoa! Wow! Wow! That was the instrumental version was so nice,
Thank you.
and it was really beautiful. There are tons and tons of requests, but you keep getting them, so I'm not going to take more requests. I will ask you because I'm sure wherever you go, everyone will say, "Who's that young boy out there? That young boy? Can we ask him to sing one song? What a wonderful voice he has." So I'm not going to ask you to sing, but I will ask you this one final question before I allow you to go, sir.
Somebody's asking, what is the purpose of life? Oh my God. That is a one day chat with, I don't know, maybe Donald Trump.
So with Donald Trump. Oh, I must ask. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. But I must ask you, if you're not answering that question, what is the purpose of life? Are you answering that question, or if you're not, I'll ask you my question.
Yeah, ask me a question.
Okay, so you were invited to a state banquet with
Yes.
with somebody who is in the opinion of a lot of people, a part-time president and a full-time comedian, and he's he's wonderful for his country, but you were invited for that state banquet, and you were sitting next to somebody who's also very close to the organization, Vikas Khanna.
Yeah.
I asked Vikas ji, saying, how was it like? I asked him, how was it like, and how was it like sitting next to the legend? Okay, so I'm going to ask you the same question, saying, how was the state dinner like, and was it any different from the other ones that you've been for?
Usually, I suddenly got the invite like just a couple of days before, and I was asking myself, why not? Let's go. And because it came from the president, and just before all the shutdown, and I think, yeah. And also I met some of Ivanka's friends who's next to us, and she was talking about she's in Washington and she manages Ivanka's things, and what's her name, Julia or somebody. So it was interesting to see some of the people I really like. There was Azim Premji, there was Piramal Saab, and then Vikas was there. Vikas was my buddy. We were next to each other. You could have seen all the pictures with me and Vikas shaking hands with Trump and Modi ji and Vice President. Yeah.
Look, and so the last question that I want to ask you is, for you, which is your, and you must answer this this correctly. This is written in the script at least 18 times that Rishabh is going to ask you this question. So, so here it goes. And sir, on answering this question, you get 1 million Zimbabwean dollars transferred into your bank account. So, which is your favorite? Which is your favorite platform to interact with young people? And there are two options. One is called I.I.M.U.N. and the second one is called India's International Movement to Unite Nations.
Both are same, is it?
I will not dignify that with a response, sir. I will not dignify that with a response. No, but you don't need to answer it. I'm sorry. It's just one plugin of the organization that I always
Got it.
do.
I got it.
So this is the one plugin that you must allow me. But
yeah, of course, you're entitled to that.
But sir, it's been an honor and a pleasure being able to host you. This young boy who's a talented musician is now just beginning his real journey in life. We wish you all the love, light, and success, Mr. Young Boy. And so that you don't forget your bade bhaiya.
Next time I'm gonna come with my beard, then you'll know my age. So
I was calling you legend, sir. This, that, etc.
So one of my daughters is like, don't cut your beard. My wife says, no, please shave. And so there's a full war happening. Daddy, keep the beard. And